Now we are going to start with the chemical properties of the 15 group. So before we start, I want that you should have a basic idea about their reactivities. So you know that if we talk about the whole family, that is the nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. So out of that the nitrogen, the first member, it actually is different from all, all its members. Now the reason behind its difference is that it is smallest of all. That means its size, due to which its electronegativity is high and due to which its ionization energy is high, and there is no d orbital, no vacant d orbital, as it has atomic number only 7, and moreover you know that it has the ability that it can form p-pi bond. So these are basically the reason that the small size, high electronegativity, high ionization energy, no vacant d orbital and ability to form p-pi bond makes the nitrogen different from the rest of the members, that is the phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and the bismuth. Now if we look for the different properties, if I just make focus on that what are the different properties that the nitrogen exhibit. So out of that, if we try to write the exceptional behavior or the anomalous properties. So you know that it exists in nature as N2. It exists in nature as N2, that is the diatomic gas. Exists in nature as diatomic gas, and moreover the gas is colorless. And if we look for the bonding, there is triple bond between the nitrogen. That means it is it has 2 pi bond and 1 sigma bond. So as you can see, the number of bonds are more, so that means the strength is more, or you can say that this bond, like if you want to break this bond, the enthalpy required is comparatively high among the rest of the members, because they cannot form p-pi bonding, they are actually linked by single bond. But the nitrogen molecule is linked by triple bond, so that is why the enthalpy for breaking this bond is high. So we can say that it has the low reactivity. So as a result, its reactivity is low, right. So now if we talk about like I told you that it exists in bonding with N and triple bond is there, but if we consider for the rest of the members, they mostly occur in they are bonded with another same kind of atom, but the bond is particularly a single bond. Like in case of phosphorus actually exists in nature as tetraatomic as P4. And what is the basic structure? It is the regular tetrahedron. It is the regular tetrahedron like this. This is 60 degree. So the existence of phosphorus is something like this. So now what happens, like if we compare the single bond between phosphorus and the single bond between nitrogen, we see that in phosphorus it is quite stable, the single bond, but in case of nitrogen it is not stable. So that, and you know that what is the reason that why the single bond between nitrogen molecule is not stable, or 2 nitrogen atom is not stable? The reason being, nitrogen is small in size. Nitrogen is small in size. So due to which the non-bonded electrons, they you can say that in between the interatomic, like if you talk about interatomic interactions, there is repulsions between the non-bonded electrons. There is more repulsion between the non-bonded electrons because they are of small size. So when they are small size, obviously they will be closer to each other, and the non-bonded electrons will somehow face a kind of repulsion, and due to which we see that this bond is not stable and it do not exist as such. Its triple bond is somehow more stable. But if we talk about this phosphorus or any other arsenic, antimony, bismuth, they exist in single bond with another atom. That means they form pp bond and they can easily form. And you know that probably this is the reason that nitrogen shows catenation only up to less extent. You know that catenation is that linking with its own kind of atom giving rise to long chains. So as I told you that it forms a triple bond, stable triple bond, but it cannot form a single bond as a stable bond because there are more repulsions between the non-bonded electron pairs. So that is why it doesn't show catenation, and moreover that is the reason that it doesn't exist in a solid state, it exists in a gaseous state. Otherwise phosphorus exists in a solid state. Now if I compare the reactivities, my nitrogen is this and phosphorus is particularly this, right. I told you that in this high enthalpy is required. high enthalpy is required, and as compared to this, less enthalpy is required in this case. So that means this will be more reactive and this will be comparatively less reactive. So this will be more reactive, and you know that this is the reason that you know that phosphorus exists in nature in form of white and red phosphorus. You know that this is probably the reason that white phosphorus is like catches, like when it is exposed to air, it catches fire. And the reason being that it is so reactive because the bond between them is not so strong, less enthalpy is required, which can be easily achieved at room temperature. In case of white phosphorus, that it catches fire at room temperature means the reaction is so vigorous. But if we talk about red phosphorus, it reacts with air, but it reacts on heating. Otherwise, it is stable at room temperature. It doesn't show a kind of vigorous reaction at room temperature. But white phosphorus catches fire as soon as it is exposed to the room temperature, especially in the summers, because summers are you know that the seasons where the room temperature is comparatively high, and that room temperature actually match with the ignition temperature of the white phosphorus. That is why it catches fire. And you know that how we keep white phosphorus? We keep white phosphorus under water in order to avoid the contact with air, so that it should not catch fire. We keep it under the water. Now, as far as the reactivity of arsenic is concerned, it's like their yellow forms are somehow more reactive. Rest of the members, their yellow forms are somehow more reactive. And as we move down, the reactivity is decreasing. So arsenic react but on heating, it doesn't react with dry air actually, it reacts with moist air. And in moisture, we see that a black kind of coating, bronze or black kind of coating get deposited on the surface of the arsenic. And antimony, it reacts on heating, forming a different kind of oxides. Bismuth also form one of its oxide, but again on heating. So that means nitrogen is out of them, nitrogen is small in size, high electronegativity, high ionization energy, no d orbital, and ability to p-pi bonding is there. But rest of the members cannot form double or triple bond because you can say there is no stability of that double or triple bond. And because they are bigger size, so that means they cannot come more closer because of the diffuse shape, the bond is not stable. So these are the anomalous properties, and I told you that why nitrogen exists as gas and phosphorus exists as solid, and what is the reason that it exhibit catenation to lower extent, it exhibit catenation to means more extent as compared to the nitrogen. And I told you about the reactivity between the white and the red phosphorus also, and you are familiar with the reactivity, that how it varies along the group, and what forms out of yellow or grey, which form is more reactive, and what kind of antimony form the oxides. It forms obviously on heating a number of oxides, but bismuth form only one type of oxides on heating, right. So this is what is the general introduction about the chemical properties. Now we are going to start with a chemical property, so just look at the board carefully.